Okay, so let's talk about how we're going to change a fraction into a decimal the old-fashioned way without a calculator. And then we're going to round that to the nearest tenth, all right? This is an important skill, all right? Yeah, so whenever you see these problems on MCAS, etc., a lot of times they're going to be like, yo, you don't get a calculator on this one. So let's give this one a shot. Remember that fraction bar means division, right? So all you got to do, you got to set up your division bracket. And then remember, 7 divided by 11, when you put it into the bracket, remember that 7 goes inside and that 11 goes outside. Remember, top number jumps inside. All right? So now we go, 11 goes into 7. That doesn't go in. So now we know we're into the zeros, right? 0 point something, right? So we're going to start, before we even do that, remember, we are going to round to the nearest tenth. So the only amount of zeros we need to add are 2 zeros. That's it. Even if this thing goes further, and it does, we only need to go out to 2 decimal places to round back to the tenths. All right, so we practiced rounding earlier. We're now going to add that piece in at the end here. So let's divide. 11 goes into 7. Nope, 0. So we got to go now 11 into 70. And there's our 0.6. Again, bring that decimal up. Make sure they're lined up on the top. And remember, that 6 goes above because it's where the 70 is, right? 11 doesn't go into 7. There's my 0. All right? 6 now again, we got to now do 6 times 11, get our 66, and we have to subtract that now from the 70, right? So 70, take away 66. That gives us 4. All right, remember, we're not done. We just have to bring down that last 0. And now we divide one more time. 11 into 40. Well, that's 3, right? 3 times 11, that gives us 33. And guess what? We can literally stop right there, right? Because we can see we only have really 7 left over there. We don't have to go any further. We got a remainder smaller. That's good. That's the key. So now the key is, we're really done. Remember, we can continue, but why? Because we're going to round this, right? So we got to now go over. Remember, when we're rounding, we simply highlight the tenths place as usual, and we only need to check out our neighbor to the right. That guy is, guess what? Less than 5. So guess what? Stays at 6. The rest is zeros, and we are done. We divide it and we round it to the nearest tenth. The best part about when they say round, when you're dividing, you don't have to go, when you're doing to the tenth, you go out one place further. You go to the 100th, and you are done right there. So that's really how to change a fraction into a decimal. But then when you round it to the nearest tenth, it makes it easier, especially if that decimal plans on going on for a while, which this one would have gone on for a little while. All right, so that's how you do it. Keep that in mind when you go. It's actually pretty simple to do.